Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And this show is all about inspiring, empowering, and educating you through life's transitions. And I am very excited about today's show, and I hope you are too, because I brought on a remarkable woman. She's incredible. I discovered her on TikTok, and what she's doing on that platform really affected me. Her name is Jolene DeRosier, and she's going to be on in just a few minutes. And she's got over 100,000 followers. She's got over 1 million views on her channel. And what she's doing is putting herself out there very vulnerably and authentically, talking about her journey in life and what's happening with her. There's things about and aspects about her life that she wants to change, and she's sharing it with the world. So we're going to talk all about that today. And I wanted to share her with you. I'm talking to my ladies right now, but guys, I know there's about 28% of my audience that's men. You're going to want to hear this too, to really understand what's going on with women right now. And it's not a midlife crisis. It's an awakening that's happening with us. And we don't want to do things the way we've been doing things anymore. What I call ho-hum hell. We don't want to live in ho-hum hell anymore. We want to live extraordinary lives, whatever that looks like for you. And so you are going to absolutely love this show. So I titled this show, TikTok creator, Jolene is helping you connect with your femininity. That's one of the areas of her life that she's really, for lack of a better word, working on, but focused on. She's focused on it. That's a better way of me saying it. But there's a lot of other things about her. She's remarkable. I'm going to read her bio to you. Outstanding, incredibly accomplished woman. In her career. I'll read that when she's out here with us. So make sure that you stick around. So if you are here for the first time, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much. And if you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. So where can you find I Have Today? We're available on E360 TV network. We're also streaming live right now on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on Twitter. And so you can find us there. It's either I Have Today with Diane Forster, or it's Diane Forster Official, depending on the platform. Now, if you like listening to podcasts, if you prefer to do that, we also take this and we pull the audio from it and create the podcast for you as well. So that's available on all podcast platforms. So make sure that when you go, wherever you go to find us, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe if this resonates with you. And please don't keep us a secret. Spread the word, spread the love. So thank you so much for being here. All right. So what we do, make sure that you stay till the very end. Also, if you've never been here before, because we end every episode with a powerful mantra meditation to incorporate everything we've talked about during this show so that you leave here at the end feeling better than you did at the beginning. You feel like you're empowered, you're inspired, you're moving in inspired action in your life. That's what we want. Raise your frequency and vibration. Okay, so before we bring on Jolene, let me just share with you our weekly intention statement. And our intention statement is, I have today to connect with my feminine energy. I have today to connect with my feminine energy. Now, why do we do a weekly intention statement? Well, we want you to take what our topic is and have it stay with you all week long. You know, how we create real positive permanent change and lasting changes in our lives is through repetition. If we're not being reminded of it, it's like learning the ABCs and the, times tables and all the things. It's how we learn is really through repetition. And your brain, the subconscious mind, is literally like a database and a computer drive. And so we need to be feeding it good information, not the negative stuff that's out there, but good stuff. And so when you hear this and you see this all week long, it'll start to become a part of you. It'll become habitual. It'll get ingrained in you. And so what the team does, my amazing team, is they make a graphic for you. And that is available on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. There's a little button there called wallpaper. And there it is right there. So when you see it there, just take a screenshot of it, and then it's on your phone. And then every time you look at your phone, which is on average 150 times a day, you're going to see it. So what a great way to start creating new beliefs and new habits for you. So it's there. I have today to connect with my feminine energy. And let me tell you, man, ladies, we really need to start connecting back with our feminine energy. Oh, this conversation is going to be so good today. So wherever you are, stop the distractions, stay tuned in. And if you want to, write your comments or questions in the chat, because we are broadcasting live right now. So make sure that you share them there. So all right. So I'm getting ready to bring in Jolene, but before we do that, let's hear a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Well, hey, Jolene, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing so great. I'm so excited to have you here today. So
I'm grateful for your time. So thank you.
Of course, of course. All right, everybody. So listen up. All right. A little bit about Jolene before we get into the interview. Jolene DeRosier is a TV producer and show host for her PBS affiliate, WPBS. As an award-winning journalist and independent filmmaker, Jolene has spent the last 20 years telling stories. Now she's telling her own story on her TikTok channel at Jolene_D. We'll have that in the show notes. As a woman in her 50s, she's been on top of her professional game. She's spoken on stages. She's built TV shows and broken great stories with scripts. Today, she's living for herself first. And that means for her traveling the world and sharing more of her story her way. Well, welcome, Jolene. You are doing it. You are living it.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I want to share with everybody how we discovered each other. You know, I am on TikTok, and about 3 weeks ago, I posted a video, and it was literally, I got a download. So those of you who are familiar with me, I'm highly intuitive and connected, right? So I just went for an amazing walk on the beach, and I was headed over to Costco, and this thing dropped in, and I swear I heard, pull over right now and record a TikTok, which I had a baseball cap on, no makeup. I was like, okay. Because when I get that, I listen to that. So I pulled over and I recorded it. And then what happened is I got going, and you know this, I had 2 parts. I was like, I got to do a part 2. I'm going to turn this, wrap this whole thing up with a part 2. And so in between hitting the upload for one, a guy driving on the opposite side of the road crossed over the median, hit a sign, like a traffic sign, and crashed into a tree, literally 20 feet from me. I was like, oh my God. Thank God I was there, because I was able to call 911 for this guy. It was the craziest thing. So my part 2 video looks very different than my part 1, because I was visibly shaken up. But where I'm going with this is I kind of let it go. And unbeknownst to me, that video went viral. And that, I don't know the way the algorithms work. It's got 345,000 views on it. But somehow that led me to you. Somehow the algorithms led me to you. And I saw your video, and we're going to play it for you guys in just a moment. Hey, team, are you ready to do it? I saw this video, and I was like, wow, I got to know this woman. So let's take a look at it right now.
So I don't really want to do this anymore. I get it now. I don't want to do all of this anymore. You know what I want? I want to sleep with a guy who doesn't speak English, yet we communicate perfectly. I want to grow my own food. I don't need a big apartment. I'll take an apartment that's 1,000 square feet. I want to go somewhere where I'm surrounded by women like me, or good people like me that just want to live their lives and have excitement and go on adventures. You know what I've always wanted to do? I will pick furniture up off the side of the road and paint it and sand it and finish it and put really pretty knobs and different jewelry thingies on it and just make, I've always wanted to do that. So I live in my space with other great people around me. I get up, I have coffee every morning, I have fresh food, I either put my shoes on or I don't, and then I go out over here and I paint and I sand and I make stuff when I want them on my own terms, and why can't I? Did you see the video of the girl who reads a paragraph from her mother's diary? Her mother is deceased, and it's talking about how she's stuck and she wants to do all these things and she doesn't. I don't know how the hell I do it, but if I think hard enough on it, I can do it. So if you know how to get me to Portugal so I can visit at a super low expense, let me know. I'm not kidding. I'll go with you. I'll travel with you. I don't care. I want to visit places I'm considering living. And I think right now that's at the top of the list.
Incredible. You know what was so incredible about that, Jolene, is your clarity. That's why I had to do it. I said, man, this woman is so crystal clear about what she wants. That's why I wanted to share you with other women, because you know what it's like not knowing. But when you get to that point, like, I'm done, I'm either disgusted or whatever the emotion is, and you're like, you know what? This is what I want. And so I wanted other women to see that. And obviously it's got 65.9, like basically 66,000 views. And there's over 263 comments, or over 260. I think it's 263. I don't know. It changes. It's still changing and growing. But how many women say, count me in, me too. Let's create a community. I'll get the furniture. I want to do that too. I've always wanted to do it. It was just this outpouring of support. So yes. So tell a little bit about you and your story and what has led you to all of it, creating the TikTok channel, sharing yourself so vulnerably, and where you are today, how you're feeling today. Yeah.
Yeah. So it had 65,000 on your side, and I think it's probably up to 200,000 on my side. Yeah. And subsequent videos related to the same thing, but said differently, more and more women were resonating. So to answer your questions, the original intent of my TikTok channel was to give me a platform socially so that as a producer, I'm also a screenwriter, maybe I would generate the interest. And when someone said, gosh, that's a really great script, Jolene, what do your social platforms look like? I could go, I have this. And yes. I did skits on it when I first started. I found archived tapes of me singing in a mall studio when I was 17. That was my first experience going viral. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I just kept showing up and getting a little more vulnerable every time, because I noticed that when I did, people resonated with that. And that made me feel less alone. Because I think a lot of times, no matter what we're going through, it could be the death of somebody, it could be a divorce, it could be change of job, it could be becoming a woman in your 50s, and you do feel isolated and alone. So the more I surfed that wave, I would have different experiences. I would say something and the same thing would happen. It would blow up. So I found that being my most authentic self is what you should do anyway when you're on a platform like that. And I think a lot of times when creators first start, they're not sure what to do. I did that. I floundered. What should I do? Should I make, what's my thing going to be? And do I have a thing? And if you go to my early TikToks, I always start going, hey, TikTok, thinking that's going to be my thing, super corny. Where now I'm so grateful for all of the people that are on that channel with me. And those are the men and women, primarily women, that they hear this message and they want to hear more. And I'm super grateful for that. Mm-hmm. So.
Yes, they do. They so resonate with you. Like I did. I I was like, oh my God, she's a soul sister. I could just feel her energy and I feel her. I am her. She is me. And that is the beautiful thing about that platform is it gives you the opportunity to be able to, connect with people in a really amazing
And from
way.
all over the world. From
Yep.
all over the world, and I have talked to so many people, including you, on the
Yes.
phone,
Yeah.
Skype, Zoom, Skype. I haven't used Skype in years. I don't know why that came up. But anyway, yeah, that's the power that it has, and I don't mean to sound corny or dramatic, but it has literally changed my life because I'm learning so much from it. I'm gaining so much from it, and it's given me the courage, frankly, to make this kind of transition, which is living within my true authentic self, exploring my femininity, and realizing everything in this life right now I've outgrown.
Yes.
And yeah, and so it's time for me to make a shift. And I've always wanted to travel. And on my board, right around the corner, I have a chalkboard. And I had written probably 4 months ago on it, I want to travel the world. And then my daughter, who's 19, she did a little sidebar that said, and eat all the foods at every stop, because
Mm,
eventually she's going to want to travel too. And I guess I thought that's something that had to wait. And I decided it's not going to wait. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to
right.
trust. And when
Right.
I made that shift and I made that decision, the life I have now, I don't know how to say this without, I guess I want to be careful, but I don't need to be careful. I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
But the life I have now hardly seems important anymore. And I'm not talking about my daughter or anything like that. That's not what I mean. I mean, the persona that I crafted around myself with my career, building who
Yes.
I am, being married once upon a time. I have been a TV reporter. I have been a TV producer. I have been an independent filmmaker. I've been a screenwriter. All of that, which I have always wanted, just doesn't seem as important anymore. And I said it in a video recently. I believe with that, I've reached a particular level of completion
Yes.
and I'm okay with it. Well, I wasn't for a little bit. I really struggled up here. But
Yeah.
once you release it and trust, I truly am okay with it. And pieces may come back around. But to let it go and allow myself to be in this space where I'm exploring it's really, really okay.
It is the perfect ideal place for you to be, not just you, but for anybody listening or watching this. Like with that place when you feel like you're in the abyss, like I'm here and I want to be somewhere else. Maybe I know, maybe I don't, but that gap is it can be scary, it can be frustrating, it can be overwhelming, confusing. It can be a lot of things, especially if you go to the place, which I can tell your past. But I thought I wanted all these things. Like
Yeah.
at some point, I wanted all of these things. Now I no longer want them. And what, like, I'm just done. And this is part of our evolution. I believe, obviously more and more women are waking up to this, and we are creators. And so when you say, when you use the word completion, like you'd reached completion, meaning that, just because you've worked on this and created this doesn't mean you need to keep doing this. You want to be doing something else. And I think part of the connecting with the femininity is also being able to connect back to childlike wonder too, when we weren't so much in that. And we want to be able to have more fun, joy, playfulness in our lives as well. And so it's okay not to want the same things that you used to want. Doesn't mean that you didn't want them and you're happy with the achievements and the accomplishments and the experience. You're just ready for more. And I know so many women, because I host this show, but I'm a life and mindset coach, and I help women reinvent their lives personally and professionally all the time. So that was another reason why I resonated with you, is because I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of women like similar to you, not like you, but similar to you, where they're like, not like I'm done. I'm done doing this. So yeah.
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 It's funny when you talk about being a creator, and that's what we're doing, evolving what we want and creating. That's very feminine. And
Yes.
the intuition that we follow to do it is also very feminine. So
Yes.
I think there's so many gifts I've gotten from this, but trusting as I tap more into my feminine energy, and it may be new to some if they're listening right now, it may be new or it may be a little abstract, but tapping into it and trusting it really has evolved me in ways that I didn't even expect it to be. So, learning to trust is another one, and allowing things to unfold and letting somebody else do those things is another one. And then closing, I think it takes an incredible amount of courage and strength to close the book on something that everyone else thinks should remain open because they think you're not done. The strength it takes to close that and be okay with the noise that other people make. Oh my God, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, you're making such a mistake. I've heard it when I left my job in TV as a reporter, when I decided to end my marriage, when I decided to become a speaker. I was a speaker once upon a time. When I decided to do my own write, produce, and direct, and have a 5-day shoot of my own script. So many levels, people were like, that's not, because they're not used to multiple layers of creativity, the kind of drive, and dare I say, a multi-passionate person. Because I think in our culture today, that's not very masculine. And it can be a masculine-led culture. It's not very masculine to have your hands in different things and try different things. You're considered scattered because it's not solid and secure, but it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So equating that back to, embracing that part of us, because as children, that's what we did. We woke up, we got out of bed, and we did the first fun thing. And then we did the next fun thing, and then the next fun thing, and then the next fun thing. And, you walk in the living room after the kid's been in there for a couple of hours, and it's like, a disaster area, because that's part of creation. And so it's okay for it not to be all perfect. It's actually, equate it to a jigsaw puzzle. Like, we're working on different sections of this thing called life all at the same time. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be linear and boxed and, point A to point Z in one straight line. That's not the way at all. So let me ask you about, is that your dog on your lap? Oh,
he's so cute, and he's loud, and he's a pain in the tootie, but he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Okay, so let's talk about your willingness to go down the femininity road. Now, I've seen several of your videos. I've seen you I saw you with the long earrings one day. I saw you pole dancing, lesson. I saw like a couple of random ones where you're just out there putting yourself out there. What was it that made you want to start embracing your femininity? What was the thing that set you down that?
I realized I was hanging on to so much anger that it made me hard. And if anyone were to go to my TikTok and see the first video of the series that I call Feminine Glow Up, I think it's called. When I made that video, I didn't even fully realize what I do now about feminine energy versus masculine energy. But I knew I was tired of trying to make sure all of the outcomes were in my favor, to control everything. I was tired of carrying everything. I was tired of being angry, and I knew it had something to do with kind of like a shield, if you will. And even as I was speaking in that video, I knew that it was a masculine energy, but that's all I knew. I didn't know anything else about it. And I thought, I'm not embracing more of my feminine. And again, I didn't know much about that. So I think intuitively, and you hear things over the years, you read books, I think intuitively I knew what it meant and what I had to do. And what I first had to do was be willing to let go. And that meant letting go of outcomes, letting go of trying to hide, letting go of what other people think of me, just letting everything go. And over a period of 2 or 3 weeks, I released a lot because I started this journey in February of 2023, and it's May. I have miles to go. But in that short amount of time, I feel like I literally did put enough down where I stopped controlling outcomes. I trusted the process. I no longer led. I let other people lead me. I let other people do projects. I let other people call the shots. I let them make decisions. It didn't have to be just me anymore. And the more I let go, I think naturally more of my feminine essence started to emerge. And instead of pushing it away, I was like, "Ooh, what's this? I want to be cuter. I want to have danglies." You know what I mean? And it's not just exterior, but it helps. Like if I were to live always in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, I'm not going to feel very feminine, because part of that too is being connected to your body and trusting your body. And that was a whole other piece of it. So, and like I said, I've barely scratched the surface. I am fortunate because I found a coach and started working with a coach, and we're almost done, but it's a 12-week goddess feminine program. It inspired me to start a podcast, which is probably going to be one season at this point, because so many things are popping up in my life and I want to be able to manage them. I still work full time. I just can't walk away, but I'm trusting enough, which is feminine, that the right things will come to me that can allow me to make the right transition.
They will. Yeah. They will definitely come. Yes. That's so powerful. And, you're managing it all and you're doing it all. And I love that. I didn't realize it was only since February. So that is a short stint. And I'm glad you got a coach to help you with it. And that will definitely contributes, you guys, to the acceleration of your change and transformation. It does.
It's true. You can't know everything. The things I'm learning from her, and I've touted her several times, Love the Feminine Way on TikTok. Her name is Lynn Catherine, are things that are so deep, and they help you understand, because I think there's such a massive misunderstanding of the feminine versus masculine energy when it's healed, when it's wounded. People think it's super feminist and you let the man take control and push you around. That's not what it's about at all. Not at all. The women have the power in the most incredible, beautiful way when they're in their true divine feminine. That's what I'm excited about discovering, and I still discover, is the power, and I'm not talking about, hi, don't you think I'm cute and sexy? It's a magnetism and power that people are thrown by. They're stumped by it. And they think, where did she get that? How did she do that? It can intimidate people, but it's not meant to. It's because they're intimidated, not that you're being intimidating. Yeah.
Yes. That makes sense. Yes. Well, I agree with all of that. And, I grew up in we're masculine. My sisters and there's 3 girls, there were no boys. And my dad was working 3 jobs. He was gone a lot. And there was this independence that all 3 of us were raised with. Now I'm feminine looking and all, but I have a lot of masculine energy. And so I get it. And I looked back on some of my relationships, because I've been curious about this too. I definitely want to be more in my feminine and care about things. And it's definitely since the lockdown that, we all kind of went to, wearing sweats and jeans and the same clothes every day. And like the whole thing there after that was like, I'm stepping it up. I'm changing this. And I think that, you putting it out there is shining the light for other women. Sharing the process of it is great. And I just posted a video on TikTok. I think it was yesterday. I want to say it was yesterday, about what I see happening on this app with men understanding women more, and they're really connecting more with their feminine energy. And I think that is so cool. So what if this is just this, and my friend Danny's here, so I would love to see her comments on this. But what if this is this, universal, intergalactic, interconnected thing that's happening, that's blending both sides together to be really in touch in the right levels with both the masculine and feminine, and that there's going to be this surging and merging instead of this just that push pull that happens. So I'm curious about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it too. And I was fortunate enough to interview one of those men for my podcast, and his perspective was amazing. It's nice to see that men can accept and receive. They've been looking to receive women that can be in their feminine and allow them to be in their masculine. And to be clear, if people are new to this, it's not gender-based at all. I have a ton of masculine energy. It's actually what's primary with me most of the time. Yeah. I think it might be turning a little bit, but it's basically whatever scenario you're in, the energy that you need to put forth will naturally emerge. And you'll know when it's not normal or natural, when it's wounded or it triggers you or it triggers other people. And that's really the best way to identify which energy we should be in, if at all, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't get it. Or they're trying to force primarily their feminine or force primarily their masculine. And it really is fun trying to learn the difference between the two and how they can serve you. As a leader, you're going to be in masculine. As a successful woman, you're going to often be in your masculine, and there's zero wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. I did want to touch on something that you talked about in that video that I did the duet with. One of the things that you said was you referenced the girl who reads her mom's diary and that her mom had passed away. I coincidentally saw that video that day. That was part of the resonance with your video with me. Because I was like, and my mom's been gone for 27 years. She died at 53 years young. She didn't get to see a day in my life as a mother. Like there's so much. And she had such a hard life, and she was so full of love, and she's totally in the room right now. And so when I heard that message from that girl who just went and reinvented her life, created that life because of a paragraph that she read in her mom's diary of how stuck she felt, that really hit a chord with me. And clearly it hit a chord with you. And so our company is named I Have Today. Like we are very much about live in the present moment. It's all right now. This is all we have. And what other things did you learn about yourself about living in the present moment? What does that mean for you?
It means tolerating this dog. Forgive me, everyone.
That's okay. I get it. You know what? Jolene's at home today. She took her day off. Well, she had the day off, but she took time out of her day off to come here with us. And unbeknownst to her, the construction workers are working next door. And you know what? It's life. It happens. So she's been such a trooper. I'm sure she's stressing out. But anyway, it's one of those things that I want you all to be aware of about, intentional living and being in the present moment and embracing your life, because here's a girl who read a chapter out of her mother's diary and said that, she has so many regrets of the things she didn't get to do. And this life, if you don't know this yet, you are going to know this very, very soon. It goes by in a flash. It goes by so quickly. So if we're not living the life that we want to be living, it's time to start to work on that today. So,
well, thank you for covering my talk. You're a true pro. Now they're vacuuming next door. I'm like, so
I can't hear it.
Good.
We're all good.
I wish I could remember the initial question now that he's calmed down.
Well, the question was about, reading that girl's mom, hearing about that and the impact that it had on you. What happened for you with that?
It was literally like the catalyst to say, I had the moment where I was sitting on my couch over there, looking around going, what is all of this for? Yeah. I have a 19-year-old daughter who is headed to Cambridge for college. That's amazing.
Very nice.
I'm not married. Yeah, thank you. I have a great job, but I've outgrown it. And looking around, I thought, am I really going to stay here in this space, which is beautiful, Diane, and just wait until I retire to go to see the world, wherever that may be? And it hit me so hard because of that young lady's TikTok that she got up to do it. And I thought, why can't I? And she made it work. And why can't I? Why can't any of us? No question, it's not going to be easy. It's not like I have a treasure chest over here filled with money. I don't. I have pretty much what the average American has. And sometimes I've always taken risks. I'll have to take risks to make this work. But I'm pretty sure that's how I got to this point in my life right now. I've taken risks over and over again. I've left jobs. I've taken jobs. I've quit jobs. I've created things. You know what I mean? It's like, if you look back on my career and say, what did you do? You're going to have a list. There's public speaker. There's coach. There's TV reporter, journalist, producer, filmmaker, singer. I sang in a band. What else did I do? I worked at a bookstore,
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things. And I want everyone listening to know that it's okay. Because some people may discourage them in their lives by saying you're too much, or that's too much, or you need to slow down, or you need to make a choice, when that's exactly what she's doing, is making a choice, a series of them, because they fulfill her. So I finally get, and I'm finally done doing for everyone else, and now I'm doing for me.
It's beautiful. And I call it being selfish in a really good way. Focus that is the most, this book is a 30-day challenge called A Better Today. And it takes your self-care to a whole new level because it's fun, inspirational, it's silly, but it makes you think about yourself that's what I mean by being selfish in a really good way. How could you give your best to the rest of the world if you're not giving your best to yourself first? You can't. You will deplete your tank. You will. And then you become resentful, and then you become hard, and then, things, there's all the reasons why. So, yes. And sometimes we get it in like that, just like you did that day, and me too, because I saw that video. Like, it's a slap in the face, like, wake up, look at what's happening here. Here's your opportunity to do something different. Yes. So good. So good. All right. So I have a couple more questions for you. And one of them is, I'm going to put you on the spot, but that's okay. You're going to handle this beautifully. One of the things that I do is I ask every one of my guests, how do you live the I Have Today way, which is intentionally in the present moment? And if you wouldn't mind answering it, start it with I have today too, and then fill in the blank.
I love it. I have today to make choices that point me toward living my best life.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So well said.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Now, what's going on with you? Did you book your trip to
Portugal?
Portugal. Yeah.
I am in the process right now of talking to so many women. Message me, Diane, 1,000, like over 1,000 women, because I made a TikTok that said, I want to go to Portugal. I'm looking for people to travel with. And it was super humbling. I can't talk to that many people, but I have talked to some ladies, and they're all on board with going. One is willing to lead us a little bit, which is what's needed. She's been to Portugal 4 times. So eventually we're going to meet on Zoom to see if we all have a vibe. We're all mature women. We'll get ourselves there, and we can share the space that we, decide to stay in when we're in country for about 7 days. But I've decided however it works out, whether it's with these women or with not, I'm going, and I'm going in November. So that it's just a matter of logistics as far as that trip. And this trip is to visit the country to see, is this the place where I want to settle? And then next year I can do the same unless something happens sooner. And then the following year I can do the same unless something happens sooner and I can get there sooner. But I have a little camera, so I'm a storyteller, that I will be bringing with me. I don't know what story I'll capture when I'm out there, but it's going to shatter. I'm going to get a story, and whether it's on a Netflix or whatever, that's how I see my writing and script writing career evolving when I make the choices I want to make, because I just don't feel like it can happen from here anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I see very big things for you because you're stepping into it. It's so great.
Good.
Okay, one more question, Jolene. And I'm hearing a little bit of feedback, so I don't know if that's your the volume on your speaker, maybe. Anyway, what do you wish more people knew?
I wish more people knew that they had options and that they were responsible for themselves, and that the only limitations they have are the ones they put on themselves. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean that at all. But it does mean you get to make the choice. Someone commented in one of my videos, I would love to do this, what I'm doing, just making this decision, but I can't because it's not up to me. And I was like, actually, it is up to you. It's actually only up to you. No one else is in control. Right. And she disagreed. And, you know, I'm not going to entertain that kind of conversation or put any energy into it. She'll figure that out. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything, but I do wish more people had the courage and the bravery and the means to know this and take the right actions to just make drastic shifts.
Yeah. And to that woman, and to any woman who feels, or anyone who feels stuck, let me say that you just said it. It is your choice. It is a decision. It doesn't have to look exactly the way it's going to look for Jolene or the way it looked for me. But I think I put a video out about this. You have the choice to do it. I had the choice to walk away from my corporate career at ABC with nothing. Like, I didn't have another job. I pursued my dream. I did planning ahead of time. I kind of knew what I was doing, but walked away from it all. My twins just went to college. They didn't have their home that they grew up in to come back home to. Like, I sold the house and everything in it and went after my dreams. They were 100% supportive of, totally. And if you have sick parents or needs or whatever, there's a way to create the escape, feeling like the escape, even though that's not what I'm talking about, but the opportunity to have little windows of paradise in your life, whether that's going to, like I did yesterday. We had a street fair in our village here.
Oh, nice.
Girlfriend and I walked around. She had her dog with her. We got to listen to music. We got to try food. We got to shop. And then we sat at the end of the day and we sat and had a little, cup of gelato, and the sun was shining us and we were watching people play. And it felt like a mini vacation, even just that little bit. You can find those windows of time. It doesn't have to be complete escapism, but you got to figure out a way to nurture yourself on a regular, consistent basis. Yeah, that is essential. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want us to know? Like, what's coming up for you? I know you just went to the premiere of your new pilot, your show, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's called Sticks, and it premiered last Friday locally. It's an independent production. When I write as a screenwriter, I write television. That's my preference. I've written features, but I write television. I've not sold anything on a big scale, but that's okay yet. But I've also pushed pause on this. Like I said in the beginning, it's okay, but I set it down and it's okay. So when I had the premiere Friday night, a lot of people out in the audience didn't realize it, but I was closing the last flap of the book for a little while and putting it on a shelf. And 2 days later, I had a friend that was at my station. He was doing some voiceover work. And he said, so now what's next? And I've not spoken it yet. And I said to him, that's it, I'm done. He goes, you're done? I said, yeah, I'm done. Right now, I'm done. Because sometimes you just can't make people understand. So you just kind of word it. You craft it so that they hear what they need to. And I said, for now, there's other things. For now, it's just over here. And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Well, here's hoping what happens to it, then that it's the best right thing for you to your highest, greatest good.
Thank you.
Well, it's really been a privilege spending time with you. I really enjoy everything that you put out on TikTok, and you're making such an impact on people's lives. And I felt such a strong connection, and I wanted to share you with this audience. So thank you so much for being here. All right, everybody. Oh, you're so welcome. So Jolene DeRosier, and her TikTok handle is Jolene_D. So we'll make sure to have it in the show notes for you guys. Check her out. Make sure you go to her channel and follow her. She's amazing. So thank you so much for being here, Jolene. All right.
Thank you.
Sending you love. All right. Amazing woman. Amazing woman. She's just remarkable. I hope you guys got a lot out of that. I did. I took a ton of notes. And this is your chance to step up into your life today. Does not matter what your circumstances are. Today you woke up. 153,000 people didn't wake up today, and you did. So this is your chance to create the life of your dreams, whatever that looks like for you. So, all right, before we get into the mantra meditation, I want to first share with you a video about you, if you're interested in becoming a TV host like me, and actually like Jolene, if that's something you've always dreamed about and you want to get your work out into the world in a much bigger way and make more impact and income, I want you to take a look at this video right now. Hey there. Do you want to become a TV host and earn 5, 6, even 7 figures in your business, even if you have no experience? Listen, if you're a woman professional and entrepreneur and you help women solve a major life or business challenge with the work that you do, then this is for you. If that's not you, feel free to click skip. But if that is you, then pay very close attention, because what I'm about to share in this video has the power to transform your life and your career. Hi, I'm Diane Forster. After 20 years at ABC TV and hosting my own TV show for the last 5 years, I've made millions of dollars in my career, won multiple awards, appear all over national media and big stages, all because I have a TV show. I'm not spending all day doing marketing strategies that just don't work. I'm using the power of one brilliant TV show to do the work for me, and I'm teaching my clients how to do it. Now, the strategy works so well, we've been able to quickly help women just like you launch their own brilliant TV shows, streamline their marketing efforts, and generate more income and impact. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to check out this presentation right now. Just click the link below under this video. You'll be taken to this sign-up page where you get a 24-hour pass to watch the presentation. Now take a look at Alexis Johnson. She was struggling with her marketing and in her business on how to effectively reach her right market. She put these strategies into place and launched her first show in just 30 days. Not only that, she generated $25,000 in revenue before she even launched. Now here's Megan Benson. She was also struggling with trying to be too many places and was getting nowhere. And she had no experience in TV at all. She followed the strategies, and her new game show, Get in the Game, is premiering on ABC in Santa Barbara. So again, click the link and go to the sign-up page for your 24-hour pass. Then sit down, get something to take notes with, and watch this masterclass because this has the power to change your life. Now, it doesn't matter what niche you're in. You absolutely can and should have a TV show. This works for you, even if you have no experience, or you don't have a lot of time, or you don't even know how to start. You need to click this link now and learn how TV hosting can totally change your career and life. Click the link, sign up, and I'll see you there. Now's your time. There's never been a better time for you to become a TV host. Really, there are so many people looking for you. All right. The link for that is tvstarhost.com, tvstarhost.com to register for the free masterclass. All right. So check it out and see if it's for you. All right, with our last few minutes, let's do our mantra meditation. It was a really powerful show today, and now's our chance to anchor in everything that we talked about so that you can leave here feeling energized, refreshed, excited, and empowered. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 deep breaths. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you to breathe in for the count of 4 and pull that air all the way in, pull it down all the way to your root chakra, like your tailbone. And then I'm going to ask you to hold it for 8 seconds. And as you're holding it and I'm counting, I want you to send energy to all your chakras, your energy centers, your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your third eye, your throat, your third eye, your crown, and your soul star, which is about a foot or so above your head. Very important one for receiving information. Then blow it out for 8 seconds like you're blowing out birthday candles. Get anything negative, any toxic memories, trauma, bad feelings, any pain up and out of your body. Breathe out like this. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it. We'll do it 2 times and then just listen to the words. So here we go. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out for 8. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Blow it out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to connect with my feminine energy. I now know the power of what tapping into that can do for myself, can do for others, can do for this world. I'm letting go of hanging on to any anger or anything that makes me feel hard or harsh. I'm stepping into that. I'm going to be vulnerable and open and authentic. And I'm going to share how I'm feeling and what's transpiring with the world, because by doing that, I'm going to feel supported and less alone. I don't want to be stuck in my life anymore. I want to live inspired and empowered. I want to make my dreams come true. And if I don't know what they are, I want to spend the time to figure that out. And if I can't make major changes in my life right now and can't make the big leaps, what I can do is make tiny little leaps every single day to do things that feed my soul, to be selfish in a really good way. Because when I am, and I feed that part of me, I show up happier, softer, more fulfilled. I open up the portal in the doorway for me to dream and imagine even bigger, to receive ideas, dreams, goals, desires. And I'm making the choice to live a more intentional, happy, fulfilling life. Because after all, I'm the only one that gets to make it. I'm the one in the power. I get to choose. I get to decide how I want to live and how I want to feel every day. And so I'm going to do it. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to greatly thank my guest today, Jolene DeRosier. She really had an impact on me. I hope she had an impact on you. I want to thank all of you for being here today and showing up. Again, if it's your first time, thank you. If it's not, welcome back. Make sure you give us a follow. I'm at I Have Today with Diane Forster and Diane Forster Official, and also the podcast, I Have Today with Diane Forster. We will see you next time. Sending you so much love and light. Take care. Bye-bye.